He was a towering figure in Missouri politics. Kit Bond is dead at 86. Good evening, I'm Kelly Jackson. Thanks so much for watching us on 5 on Your Side or wherever you stream.
I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the night off. Tonight we remember Kit Bond, a bipartisan statesman whose legacy includes planting the seeds of early childhood education programs that would become a model for the entire nation. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, reports on Bond's legacy.
Yeah, tributes are pouring in tonight from all across Missouri, all across the nation. Leaders in both major parties credit Kit Bond for putting voters from every corner of the state ahead of party politics. In fact, former First Lady and Senator Jean Carnahan once wrote in her book, "Bond governed from the sensible center." He was the youngest man ever to move in here and to say these words.
I, Christopher S. Bond, do solemnly swear.
In 1972, Kit Bond became the youngest governor in America. You could hear his rural roots in the way he described his home.
In the state of Missouri.
But before the big win in 72 came the loss in 68.
Kit Bond and I went into public life on the same day.
Jack Danforth won that race as Attorney General and brought Bond along with him. 4 years later, their roles reversed, Danforth losing, Bond winning.
Jack Danforth would run an excellent race against Senator Symington.
There's a small debate over whether he helped you or you helped him.
Well, I hope we helped each other. I wish I could have helped him more.
They'd help each other and the Republican Party a lot over the next several decades.
We hope that this will help, and we're working to get more.
But those early career losses helped shape his self-deprecating sense of humor.
I think he had some good one-liners to describe the experience.
Bond practiced retail politics with drive and determination, winning statewide election a record 7 times.
He had a flair, a sense of humor, and an intense dedication for delivering for his home state.
That intensity was caught on camera on several occasions during reports of election irregularities.
As some of you know, I feel rather warmly about maintaining the integrity of the political process.
And during a now infamous moment when he confronted a TV reporter in a Utah elevator.
Get your hands off your head.
Senator, please take your hand off.
Senator, please stop interfering with...
Senator, please take your hand off me, Senator.
He tried to block my wife and me from getting on an elevator, and I don't take kindly to that. So I removed him from my way.
Not many obstacles could stand in Kit Bond's way.
The vision must be of the future. Our challenge, put simply, is to make government work.
He bucked the system, cleaned up corruption, and crossed the aisle.
A spirit of bipartisanship from the governor's chair.
What advice would he give leaders today?
It was by example, really, I think, more than anything else. What was his example? And his example was he was a doer.
You can still see the impact of his advocacy in bridges and roads across Missouri. Perhaps the most lasting byproduct of his bipartisanship, the Family and Medical Leave Act, signed into law in 1993.
Compassion and care for those who cannot care for themselves will be a hallmark of this administration.
And Kit Bond was known as a compassionate conservative who expanded Medicaid and housing benefits to provide shelter and health care for Missourians living in poverty. Former St. Louis Mayor Francis Slay called me this afternoon, remembering Kit Bond as a, quote, consummate professional who was always available and always helpful, easy to get a hold of, and fun to be around.
There are 2 services for Kit Bond next week. The state memorial service is on Tuesday at the Missouri Capitol Rotunda. It starts at noon and is open to the public. On Thursday, friends and family are invited to a celebration of life at Ladue Chapel Presbyterian Church. It begins at 1 p.m.